A few days back, the Dialogflow team introduced a new rich response type for the Google Assistant called the Browse Carousel. It's similar to the carousel control, except that unlike the default carousel one, you can click on a list item and that will help you browse or navigate to a web page, to a URL. So how can we get, the question was, how do we get the message object format for the browsing carousel? And what I'm going to show you is a trick which you can use to do that. And this trick is actually applicable for any rich response type that you're interested in, not just the browsing carousel. So what I have here is a test chatbot, and I also have a test intent called a dummy. And you can see that I have a training phrase which just says show dummy intent. What I'll do now is I'm going to go to the Google Assistant tab, and here we are going to add the browse carousel card response. So I'm going to fill out these fields. So for the first field, I'm just going to take some picture I have on my website, and the image accessibility text will be the text 1, and the title will be, I'll call it I'll say title 1, and the description will be description 1, card footer 1, and for the URL I'll just say google.com, and let's make it AMP content. This is an indication that the URL that you're using here, the one that you want to navigate to, is of the AMP content type. If you aren't familiar with AMP, it's basically, I think it means accelerated mobile pages. It's a way to create web pages which can load very quickly on mobile phones, and the way it's done is you basically don't use certain tags in your HTML, and that prevents the slow loading HTML from getting added to the page. This is a format which was proposed by Google sometime back, and if you can make sure that your content that you create is adhering to the AMP format, I think you get a good boost in your search ranking and stuff like that. So anyway, for now we are going to make it AMP content. Of course, I'm not really concerned whether it's actually AMP content or not. This is just for the sake of giving you a demo of what happens. So let's go ahead and save that. And the first thing you notice, it says errors in dummy. Google Assistant simple response should be added to intent. So what it's saying is, when you're using the browse carousel card, you should also add at least one simple response into that particular response coming back from the Google Assistant. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'll just say this is a simple response. Now let's try and save it. Now you see that it still is complaining with a different error. This error is errors in dummy intent browse carousel card can have minimum 2 and maximum 10 items. And you know that we have only one browse carousel card item, so we are going to add one more to make sure that we follow the prescripted the number of items. And here I'm going to take a different URL from my site for the image and paste it in there, and I'll call it accessibility text 2, and this will be title 2, description 2, card footer 2, and for the URL let's just go with yahoo.com, and I'm pretty sure that they don't have AMP content. Well, actually I'm joking, but anyway, so we have two URLs here, and I have created two browse carousel cards as well as a simple response. Let's go ahead and save that. And now you see that it's actually saving without a problem. So it's accepting that this format, the way we have created the browse carousel card is correct. So now that you have done this, the next step is you go to your test console and you just say show dummy intent. And what happens is it's coming back with the default response. But if you click on the show JSON over here, now you are actually going to get the browse carousel card object, the JSON object corresponding to the browse carousel card in the JSON over here, and you can see that it has all the relevant information. It will be a type browse carousel card, the platform is Google, and then it has a list of, it's a JSON array with a list of items, and each item is going to be a JSON object, and you can see that it's got all the information that we are interested in. And you can also see that if you had created the checkbox as AMP content, it's going to have this field called URL type hint, and then it has the AMP content. So I also recommend you to basically like fill out all the fields so that you get the complete picture about what the message object format looks like. So that's a quick tip on how you can get the message object format for all the controls that you're using inside the Google Assistant. And I hope you got something useful out of this video.